Hi, this is Yolanda Van Veen, and in this segment we're going to talk about things to consider before you buy your anti-fatigue mats. Now, anti-fatigue mats are just plastic mats or runners that you lay down so that your legs don't get so tired and your back doesn't get so sore when you're standing up all day. So they're great if you work at a garden show like I do, or if you have an espresso business where you need to run, or anywhere where you're standing in a certain area and you want a little bit of cushion, especially if it's on cement. So if you work in convention centers or construction and you're in a certain area, it's really worth having the mats. Now, when you're considering what type of mats to purchase, there's lots of things that you should consider. For example, there's different types. You can have 5 feet by 10 feet strips, or you can buy little squares that interlock. So if it's one area the area is never going to change, then get the strips that are, in long pieces, because it really doesn't matter. If it's an area that's going to change, then you can buy the blocks and put them together that way, just like a puzzle. Now, there's types that are honeycomb, and that means they have little holes in them. So if you work in an espresso stand and there's water or any fluids dripping, or if you're outside where it's wet and rainy sometimes, then it's best to get the honeycomb varieties, because if you get that plastic all wet and it's on a runner, it just makes it really slick. But if you've got the honeycomb, it has holes in it so you can stand above the water. And that works really well. And that way you can be protected and not slip, and you can still actually have lots of traction. So when you're considering what to buy, you've got to also consider how you're going to clean them. Because when I do garden shows, we just roll them up and they get all dusty and dirty, and then I take them home and I have to hose them down and dry them out again. So a lot of times, if it's something that you're moving consistently, make sure get a lighter weight. If it's something that's going to stay forever, you don't have to pack it around. Then a lot of the heavier weight or thicker ones are easier, because you can just leave them there for a long period of time. And they do tear and rip over the years, and they'll fade, the color will fade too if they're out in the sun. They come in all different types of colors, and now they have varieties where the anti-fatigue mat is under a carpet and it's all glued together. So if you're in an office or an area where you want it to look good, you can buy any color that is imaginable, and you can have it under a carpet, and then that way it looks a little better. But if you're working at garden shows like I do, it doesn't really matter if it looks that great, because it's just underneath the tables where we're running. And so we don't need the carpet. It's going to get too dirty. And you do need to clean them off too. We just hose them down because it's just a runner. But if you've got the carpet too, you probably have to have it professionally cleaned, or have to clean it here and there. And so they might fall apart, or you've got to do a little bit of research and find out if they can get wet or not wet. And there's many different options, and all you have to do is Google anti-fatigue mats, and lots of companies will come up. And do your research and make sure and work with a company that's established. There's lots of options, lots of testimonials, and that way you can use them for many years and not have to replace them anytime soon.